Hello, welcome back or welcome to our channel. Yay! So basically yesterday I thought about it that me and Jericho, we recently hit 1 year in the relationship. And basically most of our time we were LDR, now we are no longer LDR as you can see by our vlogs. But what I realized also is that we haven't shared our real love story. We did not share how it all started, how it was. The first video that we make is a little bit of that, however, it's just a tiny bit. So today I wanted to share with you our real love story. I think the best way to start it is to give you a little bit of the background, how our life used to look like before we met each other. I was 22 years old, freshly out of the university, just graduated, and by that time I had zero relationship, zero boyfriend, zero kisses, and zero whatever comes with the relationship. The thing is that for most of the time I was not interested in being in the relationship. I was more focused on myself, on discovering myself, learning things about myself, and putting time into understanding myself. That's why when I got interested with a boys, it was 18. The fun story is that one day my mom asked me if I'm lesbian because I never tell her about like any of my boys crushes, and I was 16 at the time, and I remember that it was so funny because she felt so shy about asking, and I was just laughing because I was like, nah, ma. It's just I don't have time for boys. I have to study. I was happy being alone. I know that a lot of young people like to go into relationship and experience things really early, but there is a big chunk of us guys who did not went into relationship in early age. And it's totally fine, it's totally okay. Like if you are a person who didn't get into relationship too early in their life and you're like, let's say 23 years old and you're still single, it is fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's really fine. Like no worry about it. Like your time will come. Do you work on yourself and enjoy your life? But coming back to our story, if you have seen our first ever video on our channel, or maybe you didn't, I will link it in some of those corners. I don't know which one. So yeah, that it will be. Our relationship started with a message. It sounds quite funny. However, that's how it is. Jericho just sent me a message that he deleted, and at that moment I was hanging out with my friends from high school. I had a girly reunion with two of my friends. We just hung out, had some nice time, spoke about a lot of things, and that's the moment when I received a message from basically funny looking picture. I received a message from I don't know who basically at that moment, and he basically sent me a message that he deleted, and he said like, sorry, I made a mistake. And I saw that when I was hanging out with my girls, so I was like, who are you? Why are you texting me? Why do you have me on Facebook? He got an access to me on Messenger because we used to be friends on Facebook, but because I'm a person who I am, I delete people from Facebook that I'm not close with anymore. Me and Jericho, we met on the Long Reach Exchange website back in 2017 because that was the time when I was attending high school and I wanted to improve my English. I was texting with a lot of girls from all around the world, mostly with Korea because I was hyping over G-Dragon, Big Bang. So yes, sometimes I will text with some boys, but I was not interested with it. And one of those boys was Jericho. I had few messages over that website with Jericho, and then we decided to switch to Facebook, and that's how we added each other. However, I deleted him, probably because he changed his picture to this thing, and I didn't know who is he. I forget who is he. Probably that's the reason why I got rid of him from my, but that made him easy way to access texting me. His story is that he wanted to send the meme picture to his group of friends, which is called best friends or something, among that line. And because my name is BE and best starts with BE, he misclicked it. And that's why he rushed to delete it right away. And that's how I got the message from Jericho. I didn't know who is he basically. So I just answered asking him, how do we know each other? Why do you have me on Facebook? And I recall the old times when I was trying to learn English. During the time when I was hanging out with my friends, I just sent him a text that, hey, I'm with my friends, we can text tomorrow to catch up on each other, because I recall that he is a pilot boy. So I was actually curious if he did pursue his dream to become a pilot, how his life looks like right now, and is he happy? So the next day, I texted him back, and that's how our conversation started. From this point on, we were basically texting each day, or like every day, or like every each day. Soon after that, we had a voice call. But after a month/2 months, I started to develop some feelings towards Jericho. And that's the moment when I panic. Because I was basically afraid of relationship. I was scared. I didn't want to get into a relationship because that's something new, something different, something scary. And that's when I had a conversation with one of my best friends, Victoria, who was like, oh, come on, just give it a shot, just try. And I was finding tons of reasons why I should not respond to that boy, or why I should not get more into relationship. My number one reason, which is quite funny for me, was that he has tattoos. And I'm not against tattoos. I'm not into tattoos. For me, I don't want to place any on my body. However, if I see someone with the tattoos, I don't feel like ew, or I don't feel like wow. I'm just like, this is your skin, you do you, it's fine by me. Just enjoy your life and do what feels the best for you. That's my approach to tattoos. But at the moment, I was trying to pick little things that I will say like, no, that's not going to work. I don't want that boy around because XYZ, because of the tattoos, because he's so far, because of the cultural differences. But thankfully for me and Jericho, my friend Victoria was really like, girl, shut the heck up and just let it be, and let's see what will go and how you will feel with that relationship. And that's the reason why basically I was keep on texting and talking with Jericho to the moment when we had the first video call. And that was like the big moment for me. It was a really big moment for me, in meaning that I wanted to have a video call earlier with Jericho, but his reason for that was that he has a bad haircut and he didn't want to show himself looking in that way. So that was the moment when I got a bit hesitant in the way that maybe he's not the real deal, man. But basically, like, even though the week after that, he was like, okay, let's have a video call. And that's when we hold our first video call, and I was like, wow, you're a real deal person, that's so cool. And that was really nice. And since that time on, we had a lot of video calls and a lot of voice calls, and we could talk really, really long time, which is quite surprising for me because I am a talkative person. However, I did not expect this kind of relationship in my life. I didn't expect having like someone that I will call my boyfriend. For a pretty long time, we were calling, talking, texting every day. That is the time also when Jericho had the chance to meet my family, meaning talk to my mom, talk to my dad, and whenever I will like call with Jericho and my dad will hear it, he'll be like, say hello to Jericho, say hello to Jericho. For me, that's the moment when my parents start to accept Jericho and start to treat Jericho as some part of our family. We were not like couple yet. When we became a couple, what I remember is that at some evening, Jericho just asked me like this question. I don't remember the question exactly. That's the bad thing. I don't remember the question exactly. What I remember is that he asked me about being becoming a couple a starting relationship kind of thing, and I was like a bit hesitant, but I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. Yeah, cringe. We basically decided together that yeah, we want to call it relationship because we both start to think about each other in a serious way, and that's how we started our relationship. If you are curious, who said I love you first? In one of our shorts, we said that it was Jericho. But after recording that short and publishing it, and like rewatching it for like X amount of times, we realized that actually it was me who said I love you first. So girls, don't be scared and don't be worried. You can say I love you first, it's also fine. The next stage of our relationship was deciding that we want to meet each other in the real life, because LDR is fun, it's cool, it's nice, but it's way nicer when you know when you're gonna meet your boyfriend slash girlfriend. For me, it's really important part of LDR to have that date, to have that idea when it's going to happen. Because if you don't know, it's basically quite hard, I would say. It's quite hard and quite full of question marks. So we started to think about how we're going to manage it, when we want to meet, how we want to make it work. And there were like some ideas about meeting in some other Asian country, Thailand, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and just like spending like a week, 2 weeks there, just enjoying and seeing how it will go for us. But there was also an option for me coming to the Philippines. And after long conversations, after a long time of us talking, we decided that the best option is for me to come to the Philippines. We decided that I will just buy my ticket to the Philippines and we will stay in the Philippines for a month together. First of all, if it's a month, I can stay here for a month and I can extend, because as a European in the Philippines, I can extend it for even 3 years. Second reason is that Jericho has work, and for me, I already knew that I don't want to pursue the work that I had, so I was about to quit my job. And another reason for me coming to the Philippines was that Jericho has his place that we can stay. In the Philippines, there are a lot of wonders that we can explore together, and also beside meeting Jericho, I could meet his family, his friends, and just learn more about his culture. So I took it as an advantage to come to the Philippines. And you might be one of the person who's wondering, how about your parents? Because at that moment of my life, I just finished university, I moved back to my parents, I had remote job, and my parents did know Jericho. However, like sending their 22 years old kid to another end of the world without knowing the person in the real life might seem quite risky. And yeah, like I have to say that somehow my parents were also scared in the way that this is different culture. I have to take a plane by myself for 20-ish hours to reach the destination. They haven't seen Jericho in real life, and I'll be living here with his family in his place for X amount of time. They were a bit afraid, they were a bit scared, that's true. However, they did trust Jericho, and at that moment of our relationship, they also built their own relationship with Jericho, and they started to have approach to him like to their own son, in meaning that Jericho became really important for them. And whenever like I'm here and they call me and there will be no Jericho around, they'll be like, oh, what's Jericho? What's going on? Where's Jericho? How is he? And so on. So they are really interested in him and how he's doing. So at that moment when I was coming to the Philippines, they were like, okay, we trust you and just take care of our daughter the best that you can. Now in this current moment when we are together, all that we do is basically enjoy our simple life. I might say we do travel around the Philippines. We do experience different places like Sagada, Baguio, BGC, Makati, El Nido. We do travel, we do experience. However, there's also time that we just spend at home chilling and having a regular human's life. And that's the time that we basically spend on growing together as a couple, like learning how to navigate a relationship, learning how to navigate cultural differences and the things that are in us. Like all of us have some wounds, and that is something that we do work separately on, but we are assisting each other with. Like if one of us needs help and needs some more understanding or needs some more time, that's what we are providing for each other. And besides that, we also are learning new things together. Like we will cook something new together. I will show Jericho some of my passion. Jericho will show me some of his passions. So we can learn more about each other and just use as much the time that we have together as we can. So that is our current situation, that we're just learning to understand and we're learning to support each other. And we are also achieving things together and building things together. So that are the things that we put our time and effort into. I have to say that doing even like little tiny things together, like waking up together, eating breakfast together, going together for a ride to shopping mall, those little things are the things that we couldn't do while doing the long distance. That's why I do treasure those moments a lot, and I'm trying to stay as present as I can and focus on now as I can, so I can save all of those memories that we're building together, and I can just enjoy as much as I can. So that's our goal for now, for the moment when I'm in the Philippines. Somehow it's quite funny for me that all of this that we have now, it just started from a little message, basically a missent message. That's quite funny how life can just turn around in a moment to different directions. That's why it's really important to be in now. So it doesn't matter like where it will turn. You can appreciate the moment that you are in now. Beside all of the Jericho thing that happened in my life with our relationship, I also gained something else. I gained a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. By meaning, I went to a totally different country with totally different culture. And that's what is beautiful about the LDR, about the mixed couples, that by being with someone who is so dear to you, you also learn a lot about other people. You learn a lot about different points of view, about different approaches to the life, about different condition of the people all around the world, which is quite surprising. Some things that are happening here in the Philippines and are considered as normal, for me in Europe they're not normal, and they're weird, they're odd, they are strange. And same goes like if we take a Filipino, aka Jericho, and put him into Polish society, he will spot things that are weird, different, odd, not natural, just strange. That's normal. So I learned a lot about my new surrounding, and also I gained a lot of new friends, family, and new lovely pets. I have to say that I'm a family person. So I have my family in Poland, and if Jericho family is different than they are, probably I'll be crying and missing them a lot, and at this moment I'll be already back home because I do value family a lot. However, here beside Jericho, there are a lot of people in the family who support, like who surround me with love and care, and I feel like a part of the family. It just makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel at home because everyone is giving me love, and I do give the love back. So it's really nice atmosphere, and it's really heartwarming for me, and that makes me feel really good. And besides that, Jericho has a lot of guy friends here, and I had a chance to meet all of them, and I have to say all of those kuyas are lovely, are funny, and it's nice to talk with them or just to mess with them a little bit, especially that sometimes they'd be like trying to find the word in English, or like trying to say something and they wouldn't know, so I like to tease them a bit. That's just my way of being. So it's really easy to tease them because they're quite funny. They're quite funny and they have a good sense of humor. They don't get offended with me. It's just like nice to tease them and be like ha ha ha. And beside all of those amazing humans in this family who surround me with the love, the friends who are like basically also like a family, they are lovely pets. Here we got MG, we got Bashi, Cookie, we got Winter, and the babies. So there are a lot of animals around me. So if I miss my animals at home, my cats at home, I can always pick up one and just hug them or just play with them, which is really cool for me and really amazing, and that makes me feel more at home thanks to that. All of the setup, like the family, the treatment that I got from the people around me, and of course Jericho and the lovely pets, all of that makes me feel more at home, makes me feel more at peace, makes me feel more loved. And that's why I do enjoy a lot about my stay in the Philippines and about my LDR that turned into no longer LDR at this moment. So that is basically the story of our love. This is the story of us. And ending this one, I want to say to you that it doesn't matter if you're 25 and you haven't been in any relationship, or like you're 17 and you already been into a relationship, and like, or you're in that place of your life that you feel like uncomfortable about being in a relationship, or you just feel you will never be in the relationship. Just don't push yourself too hard. Let yourself enjoy, let yourself love yourself, understand yourself, heal yourself, and then love will come to you in the right moment. And this special person will show up in your life in the right moment. You just have to let it be. Like, don't wait for it like the kid is waiting to see the Santa Claus. Wait for it with the patience and wait for it with the joy, and just invest the time in yourself. Just fall in love with yourself. That is my advice. Fall in love with yourself, because that's really important, and that's what I wish for everyone. A lot of love for yourself. Even if you're in a relationship or you're not in the relationship, love yourself, because that's the key to everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy that video. If you do have any questions about our LDR, about mixed couple relationship, or about me, Jericho, or whatever, about the Philippines, just feel free to put that question in the comment section below. We see all of the comments, we read all of the comments, and we respond to the most of the comments. So stay warm, stay happy, love yourself, and learn and grow. Thank you. Bye bye.